DeRo and the Diehard. We're back in the studio. Who else is back? Who's this to my left? Is this Dwayne De Rosario? Is he back from the World Cup draw?
Back in action.
Yeah? How was it, man?
Back in the flesh. Oh, it was amazing. It was. It's always great to see former legends. It's always great to be in that environment, the excitement, the anticipation, all that comes with, leading up to the World Cup, which we'll all be witnessing here in Toronto next year, 2026. It's all the countries we're anticipating to see who they're going to get, who they're going to draw, and now we know.
Now we know, man. The anticipation is over. I think we got some fantastic groups that we're going to go over today. But tell me a little bit about it. I was looking at your Instagram story when you were there, and it was incredible. It was like a Hall of Fame of legends. He was with Roberto Carlos. You had pictures with. It was just crazy. So who you obviously saw some old friends when you were there that you used to play with, and which matches, and you saw some old guys you used to know. So who'd you run into? Who'd you take pictures with? Like run us through the list here.
Oh man, the list is too long to mention. But yeah, Kaká, like you said, Roberto Carlos, Cannavaro, Baggio is always
just a
nice
couple of
to
guys.
see.
Eh?
Yeah, it's a couple of guys. The list goes on.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And did you chat with them? Like, did you talk about Canada at all?
Arsene Wenger, yeah, for sure.
What were they saying about Canada? What is the international?
Exciting, man. Like, listen, they see a country that's now investing in the sport. Mm-hmm. They see a country that's on the rise. They see the players doing a lot of positive things in the global game, and they see a team that's young, exciting, and has this poise about them, this attitude that they want to prove themselves. And I think when you ask anyone when you see Canada in your group, it's no more of it's not like, okay, this is going to be a walkover, this should be easy points. Mm-hmm. They're looking at a team of especially recent results. They're looking at this is a real nation.
Yeah. Well,
which is great.
It is fantastic. And I think even, we have our group here. We finally know who we're going to play, and we'll get into that right now. But I think the beginning, I would look at this as a really successful draw. I mean, we talked about what we didn't want before, mm-hmm. right? In that podcast before you left, we also talked about what we wanted ideally. I think this is closer to what we wanted. I mean, we get Qatar, who are no easy win, but we're definitely better than. We get Switzerland, who is a tough out as well, but I would put our chances in form against ahead of that. And then we get potentially Italy, which, that could be anybody from Northern Ireland to Bosnia and Herzegovina. So what do you think about this group? How you feeling?
Good. I mean, listen, 12 groups, right?
Yes.
A little bit diluted, but I think it's great because there's some great stories here. There's some great stories in Haiti. There's some great stories in Curacao. There's some great stories all across the board. Scotland and, there's so many other great stories. Cote d'Ivoire and mm-hmm. Countries that, when you look at this, it just creates more. Uzbekistan, it creates more room for more and more of the smaller nations to get in there and prove themselves, which everyone's excited about. It helps develop the sport in their country. It even helps the economy. So what we see in Canada's group is a group that is achievable to make it out the group, mm-hmm. right? A game against our toughest opponent, which would be Switzerland. Whoever makes it out of that group that you mentioned, I like people always say Italy, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that because they have two very tough games against Northern Ireland and then away against either Bosnia or Wales, right? Away.
Yeah.
So I know that first things first, whoever wins out of that Italian-Ireland game is definitely hoping Wales wins because nobody wants to go to play in that environment in Bosnia. That is going to be a nightmare. That's going to be so difficult, so tough. They create such an environment there that is intimidating. Those players are going to come hungry. They're going to be clipping at your heels. They're going to be physical, dirty. Mm-hmm. So nobody wants that. And then, of course, you have a young Wales side led by a fellow Welshman that represented the country in Bellamy, right? He's the gaffer, and that want to prove themselves. So there's again, any team that makes it out there. Do I see Canada still being a favorite? 100%. But will it be easy? 100% not.
No, none of it's going to be easy.
No easy games here. And even when we look at Qatar, right? They've earned the right to be there. They qualified. They did what they had to do to qualify into this group. After that World Cup in Qatar, there's been a lot of investment in the game. There's been a lot of growth in the game. The players are heavily supported. So we can't look past that as well. Every game's going to be a hard game. But when you look at this group, I see ourselves as one of the favorites, and I see a great opportunity for us to make it out the group. And we have to approach this World Cup at home soil like we are the best damn team, that we're going to win it. You have to think like that. As a player, you have to think we're winning this World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? It's there. Like you got to come with that attitude. You can't think like, okay, well, let's try to beat them, and let's try to, every time you step on the field is we're the best. We're the best. And that's the mentality that we have to have. And I think under Jesse Marsh, I think he's trying to grow and breed that mentality, and instill that mentality into our players.
I think people are kind of feeling what you're saying as well. I think, I saw a mixed bag of reviews and reactions upon this group, but people were worried about Switzerland, they were worried about Italy, and they were kind of looking at the shock value of the names that could be in this group with us, and they're like freaking out. Guys, we're at home, number one. Number two, right now we're a better team than Switzerland. That's just the fact of it. I'm not saying that Switzerland are an easy out or they don't have good quality players, but the progression of our team, I think, is ahead of Switzerland. And I also love the fact how right out of the gate, let's just say Italy do win their playoff bracket. Out of the gate, first game in our World Cup campaign is against Italy at home.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it would be.
No, it wouldn't be. They have to qualify first.
Well, I'm just saying, if
you can't just say Italy is not. Italy's not doing anything to make me have to say.
But let me preface this: if they make it through,
and
everybody's panicking,
it's a big if.
Exactly, it's a huge if. But let's just say Italy, for the sake of it, make it through, and everybody looks at this, and
which I think would be great.
I think it would be fantastic.
It would be great for the game. It would be good for football. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's just say that's their first game. I like how that's their first game because everybody, naturally, I think people are going to be panicked about it. I like how that's our first game. I want the test right away. I want us to face a really big team, a team with pedigree, apart from these past two World Cups.
And that's Italy?
That's Italy, apart from these last two World Cups. But I think if we can start off our campaign by beating a team like Italy, if they make it, that's a big thing.
Confidence.
And then in the reverse section, if by chance we don't get the result we're looking for, we got 2 games to make up for it against definitely an easier opponent.
Yeah, my only concern with that is the fan, our 12th man. And having a team like Italy, everybody from Woodbridge and everybody from all these communities here in Toronto, they're going to come out and all of a sudden they're Italian.
I'm really worried, DeRo.
And I hope that's not the narrative.
I'm really worried about it.
I'm pushing to see a red and white Canada flag, very heavily Canada supported, very heavy Canada fan engagement, because the end of the day is, yes, nobody's taking away the passion, nobody's taking away the lineage and the proudness, but you're here, you're living here, your roots are here now, your kids or your grandkids are here. You want to see Canada win, because if Canada wins, the game wins here, and the youth win here as well.
Yeah, I think I'm really worried that all of Woodbridge is going to be going for them. I'm not lying, and this is not an exaggeration.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think that the way they feel about their heritage and their Italianism or ness, it's not bad.
No, it's great. It's great, but
there's a line.
Yeah, when you're playing home, you're Canadian. You know what I mean?
There's a line.
Yeah, you gotta support.
You were born here.
Yeah,
this is our first World Cup here ever.
Yeah.
Okay, we're yet to win a game. All right. Mm-hmm. You need to show up.
Yeah, you need to support.
It just needs to happen. I don't care how many cornos you have on, or how many espressos you have per day, or how many prosciutto sandwiches and plates of pasta you're having in a week. I don't care. You have to be eating beaver tails, bacon, and be at BMO Field in red and white.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen. And I think, to be fair, I'll play devil's advocate. I think the same can be said about the Portuguese community. If that comes to that.
Really any community.
Really any community.
It's just that's one thing that I think makes this place special, is that the communities here they really embrace their culture, right?
And that's that's a great thing. Nobody's not saying it's not, but like, for example, if we look at and we take a sample of what happened with the Jays, like that's Canadians cheering for the only Canadian team.
Mm-hmm.
It was only one Canadian team, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can do a similar type of thing for that, I would really enjoy to see that. I really like to see that. And it's needed. These guys need their fans.
Me too.
Let's be real here.
Yeah. We need you, fans. We need you supporting Canada. We need you to back our boys. We need you making noise in the red and white. And after, you can support your countries.
As long as they're not playing Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's look at this. I've been struggling to actually find, on another note for the groups, to find a group of death.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And things got, it's stretched, right?
They got stretched.
It's watered down a little bit.
I think Group G. I'm picking Group G. I think Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland is a sneaky group of death. Mm-hmm. We know about Morocco. I mean, they've lost one game in their last 28. Since that World Cup 4 years ago, they've been on a complete tear. Brazil will always be Brazil. It doesn't matter who's coaching or who's playing on the team. That's just what it is. And Scotland are no easy out either. And then you have the miracle story in Haiti. So I think that's a good group.
And the amount of Haitians that are going to be out there supporting Haiti.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of Haitians all over the East Coast. So, I think that if you're looking at potential, group of death, that's definitely stands out. The England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big group, right?
Who do so at the draw is so funny. I was watching the draw, and who's the young reporter interviewing all the players? Forget his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
He kept on taking digs at Rio.
Yeah.
Rio was not happy about it at all. He's like, "Oh, are they going to win against Ghana? Are they going to win against Croatia?" And he's like, "This is not off a script, man. What are you talking about?" He was so pissed, but he had a point. England right now, I don't think are the most solidified unit. I don't think they're the strongest team out there, despite their ranking of being top 4. I'm gonna say it. Could they finish third in this group?
Definitely. If they don't come to play, for sure. You cannot come with your A game and beat Croatia. You can't come with your A game and beat Ghana.
Yeah.
And Panama is obviously a nation that last 3 World Cups have qualified and are looking to make a statement for themselves as well. There's lots of Panamanians in the U.S. and they'll have that heavy support. England would always have their support. England will always be England, but for sure, this is not an easy group by any means, by any stretch of any imagination here. Mm-hmm. And this is a tough group when you have to look at Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Anybody could be anybody in any given day right here.
I think so. And I mean, Ghana always is a very tough out. I remember Portugal played them in their last World Cup, and it was not easy beating that team. Mm-hmm. How about, this might be a little underrated. How about Group I? France, Senegal, Norway off the bat, and then there's another team to be in there. But that's a group.
That's a good group too, right?
God.
Yeah. France, Senegal, Norway. Yeah.
I mean, we had a discussion. We didn't want to play Norway. I don't think anybody wants to play Norway, but we have Haaland versus Mbappe, and then you have that really good French defense trying to stop Erling Haaland and vice versa. I mean, that could be a game that could be like 5-4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's strikers group for sure because Senegal plays very attacking style as well.
Yeah.
So that group's exciting. That's going to be a very, very exciting group. I can't wait to see who's going to be filled into that group. But whoever it is, they're not looking forward to matching up against France, Senegal, and Norway.
And then one more thing. So there is, how many third place teams are going to be able to advance out of this pot? I read something that there was like 8.
Yeah.
Which is that's a lot of breathing room for
sure
for teams that
eight
screw up.
Best points.
What do you think about that? I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot of teams.
That's a lot of teams.
It's a lot of leeway.
It creates for managers to think very strategic. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not the top 2 in whatever the last game is, you're thinking, okay, how can we sneak in? Do we need to just grind a tie out to get a point? Do we need to get less goals against, or do we need goals for? So strategy really comes into play for that third place and where you are in the group at that time.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting one because this is not common, right?
No, not at all. I mean,
it's the top two, usually the top two, right? Yeah. So now there's a third place team that could sneak in there.
Many third place teams even is an anomaly, like 8 of them. So I mean, we could be seen.
Lots of room.
There's lots of room. That gives me a little bit of comfort on the Canadian side
for
as well.
Sure.
Let us give us a little breathing room. But how about the thing I didn't really understand? I don't really like at all. Is this new thing they put in where the top 4 teams ranked in the world can't play each other until the semis? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? Because that means that England, Argentina, Spain, and France cannot play each other until the semifinal this time.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because when we look at the world ranking, we're still kind of questioning why certain countries are ranked the way they are.
Exactly.
Right? So it puts countries in pole position that's the top 4. But it also creates an environment where it makes it more competitive. Like the friendlies are more competitive now.
For points.
Because for points. Now everybody wants to get into that top 4 because they want to know that potentially, there's no guarantees, but you can secure not playing against another top 4 in your group. Now, whether it's 5, 6, 7, it's fairly the same thing, right? In terms of when you look at the top 4 of the world.
Well, even the top 7, I would say.
The top 7.
With the top 4 involved in that. It's all the same.
You're right.
Mean, Brazil's in there, Portugal's in there, right? Like you could rotate a number of teams and they would fit just fine. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. I think it's an interesting one. I think if it works out that way earlier, so be it. It works out that way. You're going to have to face them, whether in the quarters, the round of 16. Yeah. But, to say you can't play them until the semis, there's going to be a lot of tinkering going around. And, it just creates room for, how can I say, just room for questions. I don't like questions.
Yeah.
I like answers when I watch this game.
If Brazil has to play or Argentina has to play, whatever, who's in the top, Spain or Portugal in the round of 16, so be it.
At the end of the day, I want big matchups. I'm not saying I don't, but I don't want them only at the semis. I want the ability to be like, Jesus, Spain and France are. The way the draw had it, the way they finished, they're lining up in the round of 16 would be crazy.
The way it's presented is that because they're looking for the big matches to be in the semis,
exactly,
that they want those teams to align in the semis.
But I don't like that. Let it happen naturally.
Yeah,
the whole thing about these tournaments is that Spain has a bad group stage and that screws them over. Now they face Brazil in the round of 16. Like that, there are consequences to your actions. Mm-hmm. With this, there are no consequences to your actions. And the last thing I'll say is they conveniently lined it up that if Portugal and Argentina win their group, they'll play each other in the quarterfinals. Obviously, if they win their knockout games. So one last dance between Messi and Ronaldo we could see. I think that'll be the most televised and watched sporting event in the history of sports.
Right. Well, especially with the third, the 8 teams with the third place draw. It just creates an environment now where there's teams that could struggle in the group stage and still make it out, and then build momentum in the knockout rounds.
Oh yeah, I mean, how many times have we seen teams that have won the World Cup that have lost a group stage game or their opening game? Argentina, Spain did it, or have a lackluster result and then come back and just win out. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. And even like the miracle runs, I think imagine a third. It just seems like it would make sense to me if a third place team slipped into the knockout rounds and then ended up going to the quarters. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever it is, it's going to be exciting. I know that's for a fact.
Well, we'll move on. It seems like we have a trend every time you leave. Some drama happens with a team in red or a team in white. This time it happened to be Liverpool, and when you were gone, they were still doing poorly. Like by no stretch of the imagination, they were not good. But now you come back and they're still not that good. But Mohammed Salah dropped a bombshell of an interview after a 3-3 draw versus Leeds. He said the club threw him under the bus. He added that his relationship with Arne Slot is completely broken down and that someone at the club doesn't want him there. Now...
Offside. Completely offside.
Where are we going to say, have a word with him, referee? Have a fucking word with him, then, ref! Listen, I waited to ask this from last week because I wanted to know the perspective of the former player and most importantly, the former star. Now, this is Mohammed Salah. We know his accomplishments. We know what he's done for the club, especially Liverpool. He's won everything. He's not been good all season. Facts of it. Now, there is some stock to hold in what he's done for the club and what, just because he hasn't scored in the last 3 doesn't mean he can't score 3 in the next 2. Like, you know what I mean? So, what's your perspective here? Mm-hmm. You know, has this ever happened to you? And if it did, do you think his actions were right speaking that way into the public eye?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been through very difficult situations. In fact, I've been through difficult situation here in Toronto when I played here, right? And I did the check signing to sign me to ownership group, but I did that during the game when I scored, and I was scoring and I was producing. See, that's the thing, right? No one's taken away what Mo Salah has done in the past and how much of a world-class player he is or was and still is in his defense. But he hasn't been contributing lately. He's not working hard for the team.
That's true. Yeah.
He's not tracking back. He wants to play like Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. He just wants to hang up top and get the ball. But that's okay, fine. But if you can do that, you better be scoring at the ratio they're scoring at. Yeah. His production rate has declined significantly. So you're only as good as your last game. Every professional athlete understands and is aware of that. And I think the gaffer here has given him enough leeway, right, to for him to prove himself, and he hasn't. So there creates an opportunity to give other players the chance. If you don't produce, then other players listen. You're sick or you get injured. A player comes in. MLS Cup,
it's natural.
2003. I broke my fifth metatarsal with Canada. My first game back, I got 15 minutes in a friendly. Boom, I tore my LCL. Scored, by the way, banger upside the box volley. Boom, and a guy jumped me and my leg just snapped. Boom.
You scored before, obviously you got injured.
I scored right at the same time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I volleyed it, side volley, and the guy jumped right into my knee, and my knee went room. And at the time, I was like, oh damn, I didn't know. But anyway, long story short, I got injured.
Yeah.
So I was out for 6 months. Boom, I come back in, start playing. A month later, get my first hat trick for the season for the team. Going good. Playoffs come, starting. What happens? I tear my hamstring.
You tore your hamstring?
Yeah, well, I pulled it. Sorry, okay, pulled it. So a slight tear, grade 3, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm in rehab, and I have to watch now. I get back, and I have to respect the fact that the other players, Jamil Walker, is coming in and he's scoring goals, and he deserves to play. And you gotta buy. You gotta
swallow your pride.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, well, I deserve to play because I already won you guys a championship, but we're winning.
Yeah.
The problem is they're not winning.
Yeah.
And the coach is in a position which Arne Slot has to make difficult decisions, and part of those difficult decisions is pulling a guy like Mohammed Salah, hoping that you'll get a positive reaction from a leader.
Yeah.
Not a negative response, right? Because any reporter would be like, well, the last how many games, what did you do? What did you produce?
If they wanted to focus on those things, they very well could, and they'd be valid to do so. I mean, we were also talking about the fact that it was, remember the quote we read a couple weeks ago from that guy, Curtis Jones? It was Curtis Jones, a 25-year-old kid, not Mohammed Salah, saying that he wants to be held accountable, not being a leader.
100%.
So on top you have this, and then
it's uncharacteristic of Mohammed Salah.
It's uncharacteristic because usually he's quiet,
truly, yes.
right? And usually there's no problem with him in the press. Yeah. But lately, last year, he wanted out of the club, he wanted a new contract, and then we hear from him. It seems like the only time we hear from Mo Salah is when he's frustrated or when he wants something.
And they got him a new contract.
And they put their faith in him. So, also I want to ask you this: I know that different such situations call for different reactions, and we don't know what kind of relationship he has with the team or with Slot, and even if they have any sort of relationship. But should you take this stuff publicly at any point?
No. This kind of conversation stays within the locker room, stays within the coach. If you have something to say, you pull the coach aside and say it.
Yeah.
When I had my discussion with them, it's a conversation that I've been having for months and months and months, and I didn't see no reply, and that was just a burst out of my frustration. This is just a reaction based on
it's a quick one,
like he's being a suck about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But Liverpool, come on, you're the highest spending team in Europe. And this is Liverpool we're talking about.
I know.
Like, okay, I don't know. Is it Arne Slot? Is he the one picking these players? Who's picking these players? Who are the ones making these decisions and signing players that are not stepping up to Liverpool standards? Who's the person behind it saying, okay, we're gonna take this guy, we're gonna take that guy? If you're spending that much money, you better back it with results.
Oh yeah.
Salah. If you're going to make these comments, you better back it with results. I think he's a world-class player. I think he has a lot to offer, but he's not backing it with results. If he's scoring goals and he says that, then what are you going to say? Okay,
100%. And if he gets into the team, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just saying, hey, this is not good enough. We're Liverpool. We need to produce. Instead, he's coming at it at a very wrong angle. And how I think he should approach is like, I'm letting the fans down. I'm letting the team down. I need to do better, and our team needs to do better. But it first starts with me. And I understand why the coach is not playing me, because we're not getting the results. We're Liverpool. We're one of the world's biggest clubs. And at Liverpool standards, we have to deliver. Top 2, top 3 in the league. That is the demand. That is what is expected. And right now we're failing not only the club, we're failing the fans. And I'm sorry. And I'm going to do, as a leader, try my best to raise this club to the standards that we know we're supposed to be. You know what kind of love and support he will get if he said that?
Oh my God, he would be the fans, especially the fans of that club, they'd be all over that. Yeah. They'd be all over that. The part that I don't understand, and to your point, is that it's not like they were winning with him and they took him out and started losing. They've been losing all season.
Right.
They've been losing all season. He hasn't been good all season, and then they get to the point where they're losing 9 and 12, and what do you want him to do?
But not only is he not, my thing is this, not only is he not producing, he's not, I just don't see him working his behind off.
Absolutely.
Like, putting his heart and soul into the tackle, the running. I don't see him, the fans are like cheering, like caring, right? That's what I'm saying. You're playing this like offensive role, like you guys work and then send it to me. This is not the time for that. No. You need to you need to lead by example. And to be honest, I'm just hoping it's one of those bad moments in Salah's career that he can look back and say, you know what? Yeah, I did. I made a big mistake.
I mean, I hope so. I hope so, because like for there's a lot of clubs where you can do this kind of shit and you can get away with it. That's a fact. There's a lot of clubs where you can't do that. And unfortunately for him, this is one of those clubs that has a very tight-knit community. They're very involved with the team. And the second you do this kind of stuff, you're all over the news. You're all over the minds of fans saying, well, we're not messing with you now after this. Because again, I know that Salah's a quiet guy and, we don't know him, but from what we can assume through his play, he's a relatively humble guy. He, whatever. But the 2 times he's spoken out in his entire Liverpool career have been, 1, demanding more money, and 2, saying that just because he isn't getting starts, somebody hates him, somebody thrown under the bus, he has no relationship with the coach. It's unacceptable at this point.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. He's been there for 8 years now. 8 years. And he's been, by the way, a top guy at that team for 8 years. He should be saying, hey, reporter goes, hey, how you feeling about not playing the game? As long as we're winning, I'm okay. Drop the mic and get the hell out of it.
Right, just leave.
Just
control the narrative. And as I said, outside of Salah, who's signing these players? Like you're missing it.
But
you're
that's
missing,
a completely different
missing.
thing
I don't
altogether.
know.
They spent 450 some odd million and they're not getting anything.
Are
right?
you
like,
are you crazy? Like are you mad, bruv? You mad, bruv? You mad, bruv? Like you having a laugh? This is
you taking a piss.
No, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I respect Liverpool and what they've done to the game enough to say, what is going on? What's going on? Bloody hell. You gotta fix it. This is shite. It's real shite.
No. You know what, man? And they got a win yesterday. They got a win 2 days ago versus Inter Milan. Good for them.
Yeah,
not sure what
fantastic.
It means, but like then guess what? They did it without him even traveling to Milan with them.
So
he
now
stayed home. Now we're getting into some shaky territory.
Right. Is he becoming the bad apple? Is he the one that's shaking things up? But I still gotta question these decisions, man. For me, with that kind of money, you could have got. You could have got
actually anything you wanted.
A team that's gonna dominate the EPL for like how many years? But
they bought wrong, though. To be fair, they bought wrong players.
Do you think?
No, but I mean, like, they not only did they buy the wrong players, they bought
profiles.
The wrong position.
They brought the wrong profiles for the objective.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Like
perfectly put.
Yeah, they brought the wrong profile for the objective of what their style of play and how they play.
I mean, dude, they look at their backline and they're like, we can rely on a 35-year-old Van Dijk to last all season.
And they're having to compensate now because they're getting pulled to the wings now because the fullbacks aren't doing their job.
The fullbacks are trash. Kirkez is trash. I mean, like, listen, I don't really care. Actually, I quite relish it because I'm not a big Liverpool guy like yourself. But let's be real here. It's kind of embarrassing.
It is. It's not kind of embarrassing. It is. It is embarrassing.
And it's actually like for a team, this has been a long running thing in the EPL where like Liverpool fans can sit up on their high horse and be like, we don't spend that much money and we still win. And we just scout good, and you guys are here united, spending hundreds of millions on this like guy who flopped, and City spending this guy who flopped, and Chelsea spent this much, and Arsenal spent this much. Where's your excuse now? You just spent $450 in one window. Mm-hmm. Is there a redeemable quality about any of these guys? And the answer is probably no. Yeah. Probably not.
If Salah can turn this around, he's gaff for the year. Because I don't know if he agreed to these signings.
I mean, he probably did.
I mean, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're dealt with what you got. You know.
But even then, that's a lot of good players. I mean, like, there are 3 players on that window that they bought that were like at the top of Real Madrid's list, at the top of Barcelona's list, at the top of Arsenal's list. Like, they just stole these players. Said, "No, I want this guy. I'll pay him more." They stole Newcastle's guys. They stole everybody's guys. They have everybody's signings, and they still can't make anything of it. Let's move on. Last weekend, your boy was crowned MLS Cup champion. Back-to-back. Unfortunately, against Vancouver because I wanted Vancouver to win Canadian.
Yes, me too.
But irregardless of that, great game. Vancouver played fantastic, but at what point does too much star power become too much star power?
Yeah, great to see our young Canadian score. Ahmed, congratulations. Toronto kid. Fantastic. I always love to see that and see the excitement. But Messi.
And DePaul. And Busquets.
Yeah, but
and
Messi.
Suarez. Messi. Yeah, I mean, a bit of a super team, but Messi did his... Messi. Yeah, Messi.
The passes, the decisions, the... off the ball movement. We could go on and on. MVP season, deservedly so. Golden Boot season, deservedly so. Mm-hmm. Again, just dominating, terrorizing, and in a league that's very physical, in a league that's very athletic, and he's still delivering. It just blows you away, but you see why, right? He's a constant professional.
100%.
And you can we said it before the NYC game. We said we don't see anybody stopping Messi and Miami right now, and they've proved it.
And you also said you see him looking at his buddies, his amigos, and being like, "These guys are going,
and I want to win them a trophy."
I want to win them a trophy.
And he did it.
The real question that I have regarding this team is, Busquets is going. Jordi Alba's going. I'm assuming Suarez is going to go.
So the question is, who's coming in?
The question is not only who's coming in, is Messi going to retire as well?
I think Messi's probably looking at it saying, World Cup, North America. I think FIFA are probably saying, you need to play. We need you to play in this World Cup.
He'll play in the World Cup.
Yeah.
No, he will.
But I'm just saying, like,
FIFA will be saying that.
So
True.
in order for him to do that, MLS, don't forget, they start January.
Yeah, he would need to get form.
Yeah, he would have 100%.
He
can't just not play and just play in the world. He could though, because he's Messi.
He's Messi.
He's Messi.
Yeah.
But I just want to touch on Vancouver. Great season, great job. You made us proud as Canadians.
Yeah.
And you tried your best. Obviously, you put the two teams pound for pound. It's just, Miami's just superior.
A lot to be proud about, though.
Superior, but extremely a lot
to be proud of.
They
had a wonderful season, and
what a season.
A culture shift with Mueller coming into that place and really turning the organization around.
First class culture. There's obviously the drama going on with the stadium. Disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing to hear that during those are the conversations you don't want to have, right? Those are the conversations that come on, guys, fix it.
Especially
Vancouver,
at that moment.
Somebody fix it. Put grass, build a stadium, build a BMO in Vancouver. When I played there, we're playing in some makeshift stadium. Build off of that. Find a way. Just make it happen. Please. Make it happen. You guys, the football community, Canada needs it desperately. Canada soccer needs it desperately.
Yep.
The game needs it desperately. Figure it out. Get land. What is going on over there with like basketball? Gone, right? What do we have? NHL, Vancouver Canucks.
Hockey's doing bad.
Hockey's doing bad.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing over there in Vancouver with sports?
They can't get it right.
But the fans are supporting.
The fans love it.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't not look at that and say, listen, we need professional sports back in our community. We need pro sports back in the fabric of our culture here in Vancouver. It'll be detrimental. It'll be devastating
if they lose the team. I don't think they're going to lose the team. But do you know much about it? Can you explain like why they aren't going to be what the drama is with BC Place?
Well,
what's happening?
One, it's extremely high rent. Two is that. But that's what I'm saying. Like build your own space.
Build your own stadium. But also like why aren't they?
The city needs to back whatever it is. It's happening because it's not only.
Especially now.
The Whitecaps, it's also both CPL teams are struggling.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's dire straits over there. I don't know what is happening in Vancouver that pro sports, it just seems to be falling apart over
because
there.
They do have fervent fans. They do.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember like with any of their teams? Vancouver made it to the Cup final, 15 years ago. You know this. They burned the city down when they lost. So they have fans.
If you're a player there, you're thinking, it's not safe here. I don't know where we're going to end up. No different than I was in that situation at Houston when we got relocated to San Jose.
Yeah.
Right? And when we went to San Jose, we weren't a new team. You had the best team in MLS. You had a championship winning teams. That's why we went back to back. It wasn't by fluke. It's because we were the best team. We were a dynasty.
Yeah.
We already won 2 championships.
Yeah.
And we just won another 2 in a new location. But had we stayed in San Jose, I'm telling you right now, we would have won again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have a winning team. You have a team that's bought in. You have a fan base that's bought in. You just broke a record against LAFC with the attendance. Isn't that enough? Like, what else do you need to do?
Why don't they sort out another deal with BC Place? Because I think for that, I just think it's a horrible idea and it's horrible timing.
Vancouver, right? I understand Vancouver's expensive.
It's bad
extremely
timing,
expensive for the World Cup coming with everything that's happening. It is bad timing.
It's horrible timing.
I would love to see. Again, I don't know the ins and outs, so I can't speak on the ins and outs. I can only speak as like you guys, as a fan, as a concerned Canadian footballer, not only for the future of the game in Vancouver, but also all the academy kids and all the coaches and everybody that has invested into the development of the sea where Vancouver is. It's not just, we can't just look at the first team is picking up. What happens to the whole academy? What happens to all the kids' dreams and ambition? What they all got to move?
What happens to the tree?
Exactly.
The pyramid.
The pyramid. What happens to that? It crumbles. It crumbles
without that.
And that would be devastating to know that we only have pretty much TFC and Montreal. It just can't happen.
Leave it to that to happen. Leave it to this bullshit to happen right as they're in the final, right as they're in the biggest game perhaps of their franchise history. And it's just like, why are we doing this now?
Yeah.
Why haven't we figured this out when we had the time? Yeah. And it's like, I think it's because they didn't give a shit. I think they didn't give a shit. They looked at their season like, we're not going to do that well. Yeah. Nobody's going to fuss about it. And now that we're doing well, now we're going to fight for it. That's what it just seems. Again, it may be wrong, but it would seem like a fitting thing to happen for them to finally care about it when they're winning.
My thing is nobody has stepped up and said, we're taking over the team. And
nobody's
at a time where it would have been a huge, massive impact in a positive way.
Oh, yeah.
But now you have the commissioner, Don Garber, coming out and saying, we're giving everything possibilities. We're looking at every options. But right now, the people in Vancouver are not supporting. And that is scary. When the commissioner has to come out and make a public statement like that, that is very concerning. That means like you're heavily considering the options now. It's not even no more of like we'll give you more and
they're panicking. They're panicking. When they say I'm a little concerned. I'm more than a little concerned.
MLS is not concerned because they have about
Vancouver. I'm saying
100%.
I'm more than a little concerned. It's like the famous like mafia adage. I'm more than a little concerned. I'm a little concerned. Yeah. Like that means they're panicking.
Yeah,
they're
this
panicking with the situation.
MLS is already entertaining options, right? It's just crazy. It's
and I wonder why. Like, where was the failure? At what level was the failure where there's been such a huge disconnect from the fans? Because at the end of the day, it's not the fans' fault for not going to the game. You have to incentivize it a little bit. Mm-hmm. It is a fan's fault to be like, no, I don't support this team anymore. Screw off. I'm just going to quit. Mm-hmm. Sure. But you have to incentivize fans to go in. What's happening with the marketing team at the Whitecaps? How are they incentivizing? How are they reaching out to the community?
But I think it's deeper than that, to be honest.
No, it's much deeper than that.
I think it's deeper than that. It's at the top.
You got to start somewhere, though.
It's the top. Yeah, but
how have you made this? How have you made the fans feel so disconnected from the team? That's what I want to know.
But they broke attendance.
But that's also the weird thing too, is that they're not connected with the fans. But then the semifinal rolls around and it's like the best game ever, and they broke the attendance record in BC Place. Mm-hmm. So what I don't understand.
Canada game was good.
What's happening here? Are we breaking records or are we losing fans?
Whatever's happening, I don't know the ins and outs, but whatever's happening, they have to fix it. I beg Vancouver, the city, the football community, whatever it is, man, you guys got to fix it. Please.
Also a lovely place to play.
Yeah.
Also a really cool place to play. Vancouver's everybody goes to bed at 8:00 in Vancouver, so there's not really any nightlife. But
it's beautiful though.
What do you care? You're playing footy, right?
I would go to bed 8:00 if I know how to wake up to sunshine and mountains.
And hikes.
Well, not winter because it's raining, but I'd probably go to bed at 8 because it's just raining and it looks. Yeah.
Big coffee culture out there too. You'd probably be having Vancouver 7-8 a day.
Islands.
Yeah, hiking.
It's beautiful.
Forest.
Green.
Beautiful.
Let's go. Let's move on. Messi, Miami. Congratulations, well deserved. You're a team that continues to get better. As you mentioned, players retired. It's gonna be scary what they're gonna bring next year, and I
think they're gonna bring in like.
That's the only way. They can't go back. You can't go from Busquets to Jordi Alba to you got the pedigree's there. You got a guy like Messi. You got a guy like David Beckham.
DePaul.
DePaul. Like, yeah, you're only gonna bring in top tier players.
I think there's gonna be a few new Argentines in pink.
Great.
You know what I mean? I think this World Cup, it could be like...
That's not bad options.
It could be like, I want to bring in...
They're winners.
Enzo. No, I'm not saying... It's just going to be funny because it's so obviously like, yo, come play. And they're like, yeah, I'm fucking down. Like, I'll come play.
Yeah, Miami, let me think about it. Okay.
Spanish-speaking city. Beach, Messi's there. Rodrigo's there.
Sunshine.
Beach, nice women. Nice restaurants. Everything you can want. I'm going to Miami. That's it. Let's go to our last segment of the day. It's Offside or On Point with Dwayne De Rosario. And we have 3 good ones today. One of them is about you, okay? First one. DeRo would have scored 40 goals a season in this MLS. I guess this MLS season or this MLS era. Offside or On Point?
Onside.
You're scoring 40 goals in a league campaign.
Yeah, that's because that's my mentality.
Yeah,
that's I'm always played to be the best.
I don't doubt it either.
That's what I play for.
I don't doubt it. I think you can do over 40, to be honest.
I think with so many games now, it's a different landscape in terms of, higher profile players coming in. Players are getting more supported. The game have grown. The environments players are training in, so it's only gonna, the technical side has improved. The game awareness stuff in terms of videos and stuff that was now being introduced when I was exiting the game. I think a lot of opportunities to score goals is much higher.
I think stylistically is your greatest attribute. I think first of all, it's way less physical now. So you be muscling guys off the ball. And second of all, what was your strength? Booming from distance. Yeah. Nobody does that anymore. Nobody steps out. Nobody steps out because nobody shoots. Yeah. You would change the trajectory of all the league's backlines because they'd have to play you up front. Mm-hmm. They'd have to play you higher. So but it would take them a while to realize that. So I think you would get 9 or 10 or even 15 goals off of just ripping from that 20 yards out, 25 yards out. So onside for sure.
This was the banker. This was the one that couldn't fail. This was one that's never failed.
Second one. Nice. Colombia is the favorite in Group K, not Portugal. I know what you're going to say, and we might have to have a little debate on this, but offside or on point?
Offside.
Offside?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Well, Portugal just won. I mean, you can't. Colombia hasn't really won anything, so you got to give it to Portugal right now. They're the better team. They just won the Euro, the Nations League in Europe. So definitely, we gotta give it.
And not to say that Colombia's.
Oh no! That make that clear.
Colombia is fantastic.
Colombia is a world class.
And that'll be a game. That'll be a really good game.
Yeah.
But let's calm down here. Portugal is a special team.
I'm European champion. I think I'm a special one.
Our third one. Brazil under Ancelotti will massively underachieve. The squad is not capable of winning the World Cup. DeRo, offside or on point?
Offside.
Offside.
Red card.
Yeah, offside.
Are you mad?
Are you mad with that red?
That is... All right, you go. What do you think about that?
What do you want me to say, bro? Ancelotti is... He's already started to change the way the players on Brazil are approaching the game. He's already starting to change the culture within the dressing room. He's a proven winner. He knows he's not intimidated or afraid of high-profile players. In fact, it's the other way around. The players respect him, and that's what you need in Brazil. You need a leader that the players respect, and that's what you see in Ancelotti. So when you see that and you see the pedigree that we've always spoke about that Brazil has, I think Brazil could easily, if they wake up, if they work hard for each other, if they play exciting football, attacking exciting football with pace, power, and class, I wouldn't be surprised if they are not favorites to win the World Cup, much less do well.
There's absolutely no reason this team can't walk into the semis. With the amount of talent that they have, with the coach they now have, with the squad depth that they have. We're talking a team that has Gabriel in that back line, Militao in that back line, Allison in net. Good luck, buddy. Paqueta, Guimaraes, Joelinton. That's a great midfield. And then we're talking about Vinny, Rodrigo, Neymar if he manages to make the team, Gabriel Jesus, young kid Estevao. The list goes on and on and on. So to deny them of quality is absurd. To say that they will massively underachieve is ridiculous.
It's a massively understatement.
Who knows tournament football better than Carlo Ancelotti? He's got 4 Champions Leagues. This is just a bigger Champions League to him, and this is his squad. So yeah, I think that's
and not only this is his squad. This is time to prove himself at the national team level.
You want to test Ancelotti because I don't. Why would I ever bet against them?
Those teams in that group are going to look across and see on the sideline, and you're going to see what Ancelotti does: poise, relax, calm,
eyebrow.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And making the tough decisions when he needs to.
Yeah, and players respect him.
That's the most important thing.
It's the most important thing. And in a team that has a lot of stars and a lot of big personalities, you need a guy like Ancelotti. It's a familiar face. It's almost like a grandfather. He's comforting, but he's stern, and you respect him because he has a resume that's most likely better than yours. So sometimes you get good takes, sometimes you get bad takes.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
This was a shit take. That's
6 months away. Can you believe it?
6 months away, man.
Only 6 months away.
Very exciting. Well,
June 12th.
June 12th, ladies and gentlemen, we will be there and we will be watching. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode of DeRo and the Diehard episode, I believe.
We're just getting started. It's heating up.
We're just getting started.
Heating up.
It's heating up. Thank you for listening. Back next Friday, the best podcast north of the border. DeRo.
Hey, what else can I say? DeRo and the Diehard. Stay tuned. What episode are we? 14?
14.
Woo, I like that number.
6 to 20.
Woo, I like 14. It's heating up. It's heating up.